I campaign to be chair. That's fake news what you guys reading on Facebook. Don't look at me and tell me the hunted is going after the hunted. Forget it. Fake news, you know what that is? I mean, sorry.
Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, trustees. Aloha. I'm here to support the current chair, Rowena Akana, to join her in her call for an immediate forensic audit of our people's trust assets, including land, and to oppose the new contract that has been drafted by your board chair without your involvement for the renewal of a CEO sitting to my left. This contract is the third contract that the OHA trustees have considered in direct violation of Chapter 10, Sections 1010 and 1011, and this is the law that was passed years ago to govern your operations. Now, Section 1010 states that the Board of OHA is to appoint an administrator by a majority vote. There was no majority vote on this contract. It is not a contract for an administrator. It's the third contract y'all have considered for an American corporate CEO. Direct violation of the statute that governs your authority. In addition, Section 1011 states that you may set the compensation for your administrator, but it must be in conformity with state statute. Your administrator is getting $150,000 a year for salary, $150,000 a year for discretionary fund for which no itemized budget is ever presented for public review or for the legislature, and WAM is calling for it now. Unlimited local, national, and international travel and a benefit package of $1 million. You're frequently in violation of Section 1010 and 1011. There was no contract voted on by the majority of this board. This is not a contract renewal, Council. The first contract had provisions for things like insubordination. I see that they somehow have been removed. And instead, we're supposed to hold millions of dollars that are not accounted for. I want to point out some things for the record. Your CEO has not been able to provide a detailed, complete, or itemized accounting for this office since he was hired. Since he came on, your budget has gone from $26 million to $53 million.
Oh, damn. Oh.
Only $9 million is spent for our people. $44 million spent for your overhead, administrative travel, and trips to New Zealand and Cook Islands.
Oh.
Flagrant violation. Under your CEO, OHA has repeatedly failed to follow state OIP laws, procurement, and ethics laws. As a result of that, and thank you, Trustee Aquino, we had the Judicial Watch case which forced the release of 2,000 of your checks. When I assessed them, there are dozens of checks for $25,000 given out to all kinds of people without following the state RFP and procurement laws. Flagrant violation of the law. Your CEO last year gave a gift of $500,000 to the IUCN Global Environmental Conference so that he and a few others could become the master of ceremonies for a Hollywood-like opening event. This did not benefit our people, and getting the board to get, excuse me, I'd like to finish. I would like to finish.
Excuse me.
Giving gifts of $500,000 and getting the board to later rubber stamp it doesn't make it legal, but it sure implicates you in the existing breaches of trust. Your CEO has used thousands of dollars for international trips, 20 staffers going to New Zealand for the Hokulea welcome party with a 3-piece band and a $5,000 gift, followed by another trip to the Cook Islands to celebrate independence. Flagrant violation of our people's trust and your own fiduciary obligations. An earlier beneficiary pointed out that there was no accounting for Pana'i Olovalu If you read Act 195, it says that Kanai Olubalo is administratively attached to this office. State RFP laws should have been followed but were completely ignored. And when the Judicial Watch case order came down from the judge, you all only had 2.9 million in invoices. You allocate 4.3 to 4.7 million for Kanai Olubalo, and you only have 2.9 million in invoices. Where did the rest of our People's Trust Fund go? I do not accept the CEO's explanation that it was somehow absorbed by the staff. In this building, you had an obligation to follow HRS 103D for the refurbishing. Instead, a contract for 6 to 7 million was given out in violation of 103D to someone who was your employee, to a company that employed her husband. I support Bumpy Kanahele's call that we reach out to the FBI. They're in our state. They're here to investigate white-collar crime involving the government. If you do not follow up with the FBI, I certainly will.
Madam Chair, do we have Ms. Trask's testimony in writing? And if not, would you request it?
It's probably in the minutes.
I'll have it provided. Half of my testimony was handed in last week, but the meeting was canceled. The other I've already posted on the internet. I'll make sure you have it, and also the FBI.
Yeah, it's the minutes.